Most of us use our phones to achieve the best versions of ourselves. We save the laughs, the travels, the milestones. But for 23-year-old Skye, her phone became something else entirely. It was a digital witness. Deep inside a secret folder, Skye was documenting a reality she was too terrified to speak out loud. She was leaving a trail of evidence, recordings, photos and messages, not just for her own memory, but for a world that might eventually need to know the truth. Today, we share Skye's story. To understand this case, you have to understand who Skye was. Born in Newcastle, she was a girl with a huge personality. She was fiercely loyal and incredibly close to her family. Skye was looking for a fresh start, and so she moved to Portsmouth, hopeful in her own words that it would be the best thing. In late 2022, she met James Edwards. What began as a new chapter quickly spiralled. Before the relationship even fully took hold, Skye found herself pregnant, a moment that should have been a private choice, but instead became the first weapon Edwards used to break her. To truly understand the level of control James Edward exerted, we have to look at how he exploited Skye's deepest personal moments. According to court transcripts, Skye had undergone an abortion in January 2023, a decision that the prosecution argued was heavily pressured by Edwards. By May 2nd, what would have been the baby's due date, Skye was struggling. She wanted to commemorate the day to acknowledge her grief, but the court heard that instead of support, Edwards met her with cold, calculated cruelty. He used degrading language to mock her. He told her she was selfish and a waste of life. He repeatedly told her she shouldn't be here anymore and that she needed to let it go and leave it behind. On the evening of March 4th, an argument outside James Edwards' address escalated into a public display of violence. The court heard that Edwards raised his fist and pushed Skye to the ground. When a neighbour saw what was happening and tried to intervene, Edwards didn't back down. Instead, he turned his aggression on the bystander, threatening to beat them, stab them, and even run them over. Later that night, Skye reached out, telling him how terrified she was. His response wasn't remorse, it was justification. He told her she was the toxic one, saying, "You did this," and even claiming he was glad he did that when it came to publicly assaulting her and then threatening his own neighbour. He often used patterns of manipulation and coercion, like in this message here, where he says he wants to do something to himself because of how he's physically harmed her. This would be a repeated behaviour. On the 13th of March 2023, Skye called the police stating that he was driving dangerously and trying to unalive them both. During this, he hit her on the thigh repeatedly, and this caused visible bruising. Rather than me explain what was going on at that moment, let's hear what Skye had told a friend.
And yeah, I'm fine. I had the police come out because of James the other day at 1 a.m. So after like the big fight and stuff, because it got really, really nasty, he obviously came back round and was like begging for forgiveness and all this sort of stuff. And then he went into the toilet and I was laying in bed and then I heard a knock at the door and like the 3 police officers just stood there like concerned for my safety basically. I was like, shit, what do I do? And then they questioned me like outside and stuff and I just said that, like, don't worry about it at the moment, because I'm not going to say anything when he's there. Because as soon as they leave, he's going to just give it to me, do you know what I mean? Well, I'd called them earlier on in the day because we was in his car and he was driving like an absolute maniac. Yeah, he was like slapping my leg, yeah, constantly slapping my legs, and he was going to kill me and all this. And I genuinely was like, he was like screaming at the top of his lungs that he was going to kill police if you don't let me out of the car. So you ain't phone anywhere, I'll kill us both. And I was like, mate, I'm literally terrified. So I called them and then I hung up. But they traced my number and stuff. But it could have been my neighbour as well, because she literally came round when it was all happening. And yeah.
Now, as a precaution that evening, the police attended an address to make sure that Skye was all right. But as we heard, even though she didn't feel comfortable to tell the police as he was at the address, obviously things had escalated. He had gone and trashed her flat, thrown things all over, broken things, and just generally, can you imagine how intimidating that would have been for Skye at that time? I'm now going to show you some footage that Skye took herself secretly, hoping that one day she would get some justice, or that maybe the recordings would provide her some protection. It is in these recordings that you will see in 4K what this man actually is.
After, what you said, after what you said, after what you said.
Do you love me or not?
How you acted, after how you acted.
All right, James, all right.
After how you act. So I deserve to say something. I ain't calling you a bitch, am I? I should be calling you. I don't. I'm not calling you a slag. I'm not calling you a slut, man.
Argue with you tonight. I just said I'm not happy with myself, James, please.
Type in Alton Tesco. Can you type? What are you doing, Mush? Type in Alton Tesco. Help me out, Mush. You owe me that much, Mush. Are you tapped in the head, Mush? You ain't gonna do that. Trying to fucking say no and not take the phone off me. How dare you, Mush? This is all a reaction to how you act.
But it wasn't just audio that Skye managed to capture, it was also video. Watch the body language of the dog in this video clip as well, and the direct threats that he makes to Skye, but also tries and frames it like he's a big man because he isn't going to act on them.
You hit me. Get out. No, you just get out. Get out. Take your dog and get out. No, Mush, you can fuck off. I'm going to tidy it up, mate. Yeah. I can't believe you, mate. You've gone to hit me about 3. Are you trying to set my fucking place on fire as well now? Get out. Get out.
Wait. I hope you go to the woods and kill yourself.
You what? What did you say?
I hope you go to the woods and kill yourself.
Get out, get out, get out, get out. Get out. You're not welcome back. Get out. Sorry? What is that?
Find out.
I'm not coming anywhere near you. I'm waiting to make sure you're not trashing my flat. Don't threaten me, please.
Find out.
I'm not doing anything. I don't get what you're doing. Like,
To be honest, yeah, you made me hate you so much, yeah, that I literally, I would never do it because I'm a man, but I'd love to just smack you as a fucking hole, just wrap this round your head and actually knock you clean out.
nice.
On the 24th of April, Skye reached out to him for support. Her father had passed. He responded by saying, "You need a shoulder to cry on and a to suck on." He also accused her of being with men instead of grieving. He truly is a monster. Earlier we touched upon the psychological pressure Skye was under, but as we look closer into the court records, we see a level of cruelty that is difficult to comprehend. As we discussed, Skye had had an abortion, and it was deeply personal and a painful chapter that James would use later as a psychological weapon and throughout their short relationship. May 2nd should have been a day of quiet reflection for Skye. It was the date that would have been her child's birthday, and she wanted to commemorate it, but for Edwards, it wasn't a time for empathy, it was a time to attack. He messaged her, mocking her attempts to mark the day. He told her she needed to let it go and leave it behind. The court heard how he devalued her existence, calling her dirt and a waste of life. He repeatedly told her that she shouldn't be here anymore. The prosecution highlighted that Edwards knew exactly what he was doing. He knew this was her point of great sensitivity. On the 9th of June, Skye was discovered in her flat. She had taken her own life. Investigators found a card on the floor. It contained the inked images of her child's footprints. It was the very thing that she may have been holding while he was telling her to let go and end it all. James Edwards pleaded guilty to 2 counts of coercive and controlling behaviour. The judge said he had no doubt the abuse had a bearing on Skye taking her own life. There was no manslaughter charge given, and the sentence on appeal was reduced to just 21 months. That means he will possibly serve around 10 months in custody for contributing to Skye's death.
She needs me now, but I can't seem to find the time. I got a new job now, on the unemployment line. We don't know how we got into this mess. It's like God says, someone help us 'cause we're doing our best. Trying to make it work, man, these times are hard. And we're gonna stop by drinking all cheap bottles of wine. Sit talking up all night, saying things we haven't for a while, yeah. You're smiling, but we're close to tears. Even after all these years, we just now got the feeling that we're meeting for the first time. She needs me now, but I can't seem to find the time.
Now, in cases like this, there is never any real justice. However, off the back of this, Skye's family would like to make a change and they need your help. The links for this petition, if you're a UK resident, will be in the description below. If you could please hang till the end and make sure you let me know what you think of this case in the comments below. It really helps push out the video, allowing more people to hear Skye's story. Now, in this petition, they are hoping to require psychological injury assessments in coercive control court cases, requiring a mandatory psychological injury assessment and sentencing that reflects the real harm caused. Psychological abuse destroys lives. The justice system must treat it as a serious injury. These changes could be known as Skye's Law. If you've got to the end of this video, I would like to leave you with one of my favourite performances of Skye, and if you could drop a blue heart in the comments, I'd appreciate it.